Hi everyone, just a review of my Oboz Wind River III hiking boots. This is a discontinued model, but for those of you who aren't familiar with Oboz or see a pair of these on the secondhand resale market as unused or barely used, this might be helpful to you. And their whole line does share some features that we will be going over in this video. So Oboz, relatively new to the hiking boot market. I think less than 20 years overall, currently owned by Kathmandu, the outdoor retail chain. So starting with the fit of the boot, it's fairly narrow. You might be able to see that from the top perspective here. Not ideal for my wide feet, but I did replace the stock insole with something that gives me a bit more volume on the inside. So it works out okay. Starting from the bottom, proprietary Oboz outsole, very deep lugs, so fairly aggressive tread. Never had a problem with traction or slipping or the sole wearing faster than I thought it should. Midsole construction is quite interesting. So they have this very stiff EVA as well as a more robust, very stiff plastic material here. And the overall stiffness of the boot is reasonable, not something you'd want to use crampons with, but definitely something that gives you confidence off trail. They do use what they call a Be-Dry waterproof liner, which is kind of like their Gore-Tex equivalent. So was waterproof up until maybe 2 years of use or so. I've had these boots for about 5 years now, used them fairly consistently throughout. So it is a mixed leather and synthetic construction. Nubuck leather at the bottom here, as well as up on the cuff. And then the synthetic material on top of the tongue, as well as the top of the foot area here. So the leather and the synthetic material is fairly water repellent on their own, although they have leaked after the 2-year mark or so, after that membrane stopped functioning. And that's not a dig at these boots specifically. That's something that happens fairly often in the Gore-Tex boot market. The membrane often failed before the rest of the boot, so nothing new there. Treating this boot with something like a Nick wax does help, but I find it washes off fairly quickly. So yeah, they've kind of been relegated to the walking the dog duty as opposed to taking them on any serious trails. But still plenty of life left in them. Like I said, the sole isn't wearing quickly, so pretty robust there. Going up, the cuff is reasonably well padded, very large entry point for the foot, so tongue goes well forward. Lacing system, you've got these fabric loops at the bottom, 2 pairs of metal eyelets, then this large hook here, which isn't locking, but it serves to really cinch down the heel into that pocket there to prevent heel slippage, so it works very well. Then a couple of pairs of hooks up top, so pretty standard, but works well, no complaints there. Toe guard, very robust, so never had any problems with it. Isn't steel cap by any means, but it is reinforced to a degree, just in case you drop something on top of the toes there. Overall impressions, it is a well-made boot, and you do find a lot of the features that I've discussed here in other Oboz brand boots. Probably the best of which is actually one that I don't use, which is this insole that comes with it, the proprietary Oboz, I believe they call it O-Fit insole. So much higher quality than your standard sort of hiking boot insole, especially for those people who want a very supportive insole compared to the ones that you usually find. But like I mentioned earlier, I had to replace the standard insole with something that would give me a bit more volume to make the boot more usable for myself. So it works well, but I've repurposed this insole to use another pair of boots, which works out great. So you can see here, EVA pads on the heel and on the ball of the foot. And then this black material here is quite stiff, so you can see it gives quite a bit of rigidity and acts almost like a aftermarket Superfeet-esque type of insole. Not as stiff, so it gives you a little bit of flexibility still, but yeah, definitely helps support those arches if you need that. So yeah, very good feature there, which is featured in, I believe, all of the Oboz shoes and boots. Going back to the boot, other little key takeaways. So nice little pull tab on the heel here. Never had a problem with that. Very well ergonomically designed. I am starting to get a little bit of delamination of the midsole in this crease here. Nothing major, but it is starting to separate a little bit, but still very usable. They do incorporate what they call a rocker into the sole construction, so you might be able to see here the curved nature of the sole here. So as you're walking, it helps you transition from heel to toe and then push off without your heel rising again. So something to help you walk along more maintained trails while having a stiff sole. So that's really it, guys. Nothing much else to say about this boot. Laces are stock laces. Never had to replace them. They've held up fine throughout the years. If you have any more questions, let me know down in the comments. But yeah, so hopefully you found this useful. Thanks for watching.